This is one of the most common mistakes I see students make when expanding and simplifying. They go ahead and they multiply 2x times x, and they get 3x. That's wrong, by the way. And then they multiply the 2x times the 4, and they get 8x. And then they say, well, together that gives me 11x. That's wrong. The 8x is correct, but the 3x is wrong. Here's another thing students might do. Sometimes they'll do the multiplication of 2 times 1 properly, but they'll write this as 2x, and then they'll say it's plus 4x. They'll forget the 2 in front there. And so, again, this is wrong, and this is wrong in this case. And so they end up getting an answer of 6x, which obviously is also incorrect. Here's how to do this correctly. 2x times x means we have, if you want to write it out in expanded form, you could write 2 and 2x's. And then we're multiplying the 2 times the 4, which gives me 2 times 4 is 8, and we have 1x. So we could write that as 2x squared plus 8x. And that is the correct answer. Now let's look at some mistakes students make for the second question. One thing students do is they go ahead and they multiply the negative 2 times the 3, and instead of multiplying, they do some addition, and they end up getting negative 5, and then they get just an x. They forget to, again, square the x. The other thing I see students do when they multiply the negative 2x times the negative 7 is they write this as a minus 14x. Both of those are incorrect, but if they did that, they'd get a final answer of negative 19x, which obviously is also incorrect. Here's how to do this correctly. Negative 2 times 3 and x times x. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, x times x is x squared. And then we go ahead and we continue the distributive property, negative 2x times negative 7, which means it's a positive. Negative times negative is positive. And then 2 times 7 is 14, and we have the x. And again, we can't simplify that because we have an x squared term and an x term. Those are not like terms. Think you have a good grasp on expanding and simplifying? Try this question and put your answer in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.